Well, springtime is here and people are going to be calling for air, turning the air conditioning on for the first time in a while. And sometimes you get a rude awakening when that happens. You adjust your temperature where you want it to be and the air starts blowing and you look up at the vent and think, gosh, that smells like dirty socks. What in the world? Well, believe it or not, it's actually called dirty sock syndrome. And it's where you have some fungus or mold type activity in your air conditioner. And it's an easy fix, but you definitely want to take care of it because while it's usually not dangerous, it smells like dirty socks. Dirty gym socks are not a great smell. So here's how you can try to take advantage of ways to fix that. All right, so how do you deal with dirty sock syndrome? The first step is to get a new filter. Pick up whatever size filter your air handling unit needs. If it's an older unit, you may have to take the cover off of the front of the unit and replace it. If it's a newer unit or you've had work done recently, you can have a door like this. And you just pull the door up, pull the old filter out, slide the new one in, and you're good to go. A dirty filter or clogged filter can cause dirty sock syndrome to happen. You want to make sure that filter stays clean. So if you don't have a door like that and you have trouble getting the front of the furnace off, have your HVAC person or company that does work for you, have them put in one of these sliding trays like that so you can easily access the filter, because changing the filter, one of the easiest ways to keep your unit working right. One tip on replacing your filter: these filters are directional. You'll notice the arrow there, it says airflow direction. So when you put this filter back in, make sure you put it in the direction of airflow correctly. So in the case of this system, air flows from the floor up through the bottom of the unit and out through the top. So you want that arrow to be pointing up. But be sure to take a look at the filter that's coming out of your unit and make sure that you put the new filter in with the arrow pointing the right direction. After you've changed the filter, if you still have the smell, check your drains. And here's the water line for this one, the drain line. And there's a place where you can look down in it and see if you're getting good drainage. This particular system, we also have these little sensors that cut off the unit if the water is backing up. So these are cheap. You can have those put in for a couple of bucks a piece. But take those out, look inside, see if you've got water flow. If you don't, easy fix, get some Drano. I find that the crystals work pretty good, Drano crystals. Put a little Drano, a little water in that hole. Put it in your drain hole if you have one, or put it where your sensors are. And put a little water in there. Let it clean that drain out for you. Those two things will often solve the problem. Where's the camera? It's over here. Those two things, the new filter and cleaning the water drain lines, will usually solve dirty sock syndrome. If it doesn't, then you have a more significant issue, and you'll have to most likely contact an HVAC company. And what they will do, let me show you briefly here. What they will do is, inside this silver box here, there's the coil. That's where the water is draining out of. That coil, if you haven't done a good job of keeping your filters clean, that coil can get gunked up, and if it's holding water in there, it may grow algae. And so you'll have to have them take the cover off of this plenum box where the coil is located and clean it out real good and sterilize it. and get rid of any of that algae or fungus that's growing in there where your dirty sock smell is coming from. But in most cases, unless you have really ignored your system for a long time, changing the filter, making sure your water line is draining, will solve the problem. If you don't have one of these easy devices where you can get the filter in and out quickly, you can unplug the furnace before you try to change the filter if it involves taking the front cover off. They're relatively safe, but it's always a good idea to unplug anything that you take the cover off of. But in all likelihood, your filter and your water line will fix your dirty sock syndrome, and hopefully that'll save you a call to a company that would have to charge you to come out and take things apart. So, hope that helps somebody. See you next time.